there. Today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the diets I have been on, what they're like, what I like about them and don't like about them, and what I struggle with. So let's jump right in. Hi everyone, how's it going? If you don't know, I'm Cindy Krause from Krause House Sift and Thrift. I'm a reseller of 20 years and I sell mostly on eBay, but also sell on Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And today I thought I'd do a little bit different of a video. I've been doing little different videos lately. I thought I would talk about my diet because this is something that affects a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there dieting or have been dieting and struggle with diets. And I kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about my journey. Maybe it will help you or inspire you. Maybe it will give you ideas, encourage you. I don't know. Also, I thought maybe it would just show you that there's somebody else in the same boat who has the same kind of struggles that maybe you have. I have been struggling with my weight for many years. I was thin up until about the age 25. Then I started noticing I couldn't eat whatever I wanted because the weight started coming on. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm probably going to have to diet. And I was okay. I did gradually gain over the years. I ended up getting married at the age of 29. And because I'd gained about 20 pounds before the wedding, I lost that 20 pounds. I just pretty much was in starvation mode. I just didn't eat that much. And I wanted to look thin for my wedding. And I had been thin up to that point, but like I said, I was about 20 pounds overweight. So I did like a crash diet and I lost the weight and I was the thinnest I'd ever been in my life. And even to this date, it was a size 6 and I had no fat on me at all. In fact, I kept losing weight when I bought my wedding gown. I bought it in July and I had to keep going to fittings and they had to keep taking my dress in. And I looked fantastic on my wedding day. And my friend even said, I think you're too thin. But it felt good to look at my dress and to just know that I did it. I accomplished something and I felt good. Well, what happened to me happened to a lot of people. Once you get married, you kind of have that, I don't know, it's in your head like, well, I don't have to diet anymore. I've got the guy or I got the girl. And I started eating chips and junk. And of course, the pounds came on. Well, we were married about 2 years and we decided to have a baby. So it took me 6 months to conceive. It was really tough on me because I really wanted a baby. I was 31 by that point. And, but I did conceive and I had gained weight by the time I, got pregnant. So then during my pregnancy, I did not diet. I knew I shouldn't diet. You're not supposed to diet when you're pregnant. The baby needs all those nutrients. But I went the other end. I kind of ate whatever. I gave it like a license to eat whatever I want. So by the time I had my first child, I had more weight on me. And I'm like, oh, what did I do? Well, I lost about 10 pounds pretty quickly because once you breastfeed, that does help with the weight loss. That was a great benefit about breastfeeding. And I went on Weight Watchers and I lost some more weight. And then ever since then I had my second child 3 years later. And that didn't help with my weight either. And I've been on this roller coaster ever since I've had my kids. I've been on multiple diets. I've been on Weight Watchers about 5 times. I would lose the weight, then gain it, then go back, lose weight, gain it, etc., etc. And when on LA Weight Loss, I lost a bunch of weight. It looked really good. Couldn't maintain that, gained it back. What other diets? I didn't do anything like Jenny Craig or anything like that, which never had the money really for that. And I didn't want to be on a diet where I had to eat their food. Although LA Weight Loss, you do eat a lot of their food. So, I know I'm in the same boat as a lot of people, and it is a struggle. And I unfortunately was born with bad genes. My whole family's overweight. And then when my husband and I bought our place about 3 years ago, I just started eating. I was just like eating, and I weighed the most I ever had, and I felt horrible. Hated looking myself in the mirror. I thought I gotta do something. And he had gained weight too. So we decided to do keto. And we did do that. We were successful on that. It took a while to get in ketosis. We lost, I think, maybe 20 pounds, I think. But then we struggled with that as well because a lot of these diets, they don't allow you to cheat at all. And if you do, especially on keto, you get out of ketosis, and it could take a week or two to get back in. And then the ketosis is where you burn the fat and you lose the weight. So then I'm like, ooh, I don't think keto is going to be a good long-term solution for me. And John was kind of off it too. So then we looked into other diets like the Mediterranean diet, the paleo diet. Did that a little bit, but it was hard to maintain because there was no structure. It's just kind of like, here's a list of the foods you need to eat and not eat and follow that. Well, I really need structure. I need a structured diet. So my sister discovered this Bright Lines diet, Bright Lines eating, about 2.5 years ago. Her friend introduced her to it. And of course, she was overweight too. Her husband was overweight. And my parents, well, my mom looks good. She's healthy, so she's not, but my dad is. And a lot of our relatives are. So anyway, my sister and her husband, Dave, got on this diet, and now they're thin. They stuck with it. So I balked for a while because she was telling me it took her an hour to prepare their meals 3 times a day. And I'm like, I don't want to spend an hour preparing meals. Well, it turns out she's preparing the meals for her and her husband. That's why it's taking so long. And John didn't want to go on the diet. So I read the book and I read the cookbook, and I thought I could do this. I'm going to give this a try. Well, I ended up really liking the diet. I'm still on the diet. And I lost, I've lost over 50 pounds with both diets. I've lost about 22 with Bright Lines. So it was like 55 pounds. And that was the total of 2 years, which, isn't that great. Some people do that in 6 months or a year. But because I didn't stick with them every single day, I do the first few months, like the first 6 or 7 months, I'm just very strict and I don't go off it. But then after 8 or 9 months, it kind of wears on me. And it's like, I just want to eat normal again. I mean, it's so hard when sugar is everywhere, flour is everywhere, and you're not supposed to eat it. And you're watching commercials. I'm watching cooking shows. I'm watching other people eating this food that I can't have. And it's really hard. And I know it's really bad for you. I know all about the dangers of sugar and flour. And I do recommend that people stop eating it. It's not good for you. There are plenty of shows on Netflix, on Prime Video, that talk about the horrors of sugar and flour. And I believe them, and I know they're bad for you. But I've been strict on this Bright Lines eating. I started last May, and here it is January. But I'd say since October, I've been kind of slipping. And it's, first it was Halloween, then it was Thanksgiving, then it was Christmas, and then it was like, whatever excuse I made up because I wasn't strict on it like I was before. And then the guilt sets in. Why can I do this? Why is my sister perfect at this? And she lost the weight and she's thin, but I can't do it. Well, here's the thing. I guess I don't really want to do it, or I would do it. So it's nobody's fault but my own. But I'm bringing this up, you guys, because I know other people struggle with this too. And it's hard, especially when I see myself on video and it's like people know I started a diet, but yay, I only lost 22 pounds. I've gained like 3 pounds of that back. And I'm working on losing it again, but the motivation isn't there. So I'm like, what do I do? I'm still on this diet. It's just I'm not practicing it perfectly every day, and that's the problem. And I have the type of metabolism. I'm 58 years old, and I have the genes that I do in my family, and I have the metabolism that I do. So if I eat any extra thing, that's a pound. It's so easy for me to gain weight. And John can't believe it. He's like, wow, you are really at a disadvantage. It's like you just had that one little thing and you gained a pound. I go, yep, that's the way it is for me. And on bright lights, you're not supposed to exercise because Susan, the one who developed this diet, she's a scientist, she said it's hard enough to diet without adding exercise into it. Well, I'm fine with that. I don't like to exercise, although I am thinking about getting a trampoline just to do something. But here it is, you guys. I'm human. There's something that's hard. It's hard for me to finish a diet from start to finish, or if I lose the weight, I gain it back. So this diet is supposed to be a lifestyle change because this diet, actually, statistics have shown that more people keep the weight off on this diet than a lot of other diets, which is great. A lot of people lose weight, but within 2 years, they gained it all back. So I do not plan to gain it back. I've gained about 3 pounds and I'm getting back down to where I was, but I'm kind of stuck in this one decade, or what do you want to call it, of weight, and I got back down to a weight I hadn't been for many years. So I'm really happy about that. But it's hard for me to see myself on video and know that I haven't really lost weight, not the way I want to. And I still have like 50 pounds more to go to get to my goal. And, and I've got this double chin. A lot of people don't have this, but it's really hard for me. And when I lose the weight, when I'm thin, I don't have it, or I hardly have it. So it looks like I have it more because of my double chin. And I'm just kind of throwing it out there, you guys. I'm just being myself. I'm keeping it real because I think that's the way it should be. You should be yourself on YouTube, and because people want to see the real you, and they want to see that you're human. You're not perfect. I do struggle. So the goal is, I'm not off the diet. It's what you would call it as my bright lines are not bright, meaning I'm not perfectly staying on this diet. I'm kind of doing the little cheats here and there. Maybe I have a cookie here, a piece of candy there, and whatever, piece of bread here. For the most part, I stay on the diet, but it's hard. It's really hard. Or like John and I have like a one night a week, we just kind of have a couple drinks. And well, you're not supposed to have that on this diet at all. She does not recommend alcohol. She actually doesn't even recommend coffee. And I'm not giving up coffee. I love coffee too much. So anyway, I thought I would tell you guys about these diets a little bit, telling you the good and the bad, just in case you're wanting to get on these diets. All right. Keto. This is what John and I did for a few months. I think it was 2019 we started through 2020. And this is just a book I got on Amazon. Actually, I haven't read this. It talks about keto, the diet, and then it gives you recipes, which I always like when I'm starting a diet. I like to get recipes because, I'm fine with eating certain foods, but I need to know how to prepare them. And I would like to have a little bit of variety. When I first started Bright Lines, I just started eating the same foods every day. But it was nice getting the cookbook because I do use some of the things in the cookbook. All right, the good and the bad of keto. So first of all, the diet it's a high-fat, low-carb diet. And it used to be that people promoted a low-fat, low-carb, high protein diet. And you know what? High fat is the way to go. And that's what keto's about. And that's why people lose a lot of weight. I mean, they encourage you to have butter and coconut oil and things like that. Now, it is no sugar. And flour, you can have flour, but it has to be certain kinds of flour, like coconut flour and oat flour and wheat flour, that type of thing. And the good thing about it is, like, if you love bacon, you can have bacon. Like, we'd have bacon and eggs for breakfast. And there is keto type of bread you could buy. So you could have like a piece of keto bread for your breakfast. And then it's based on of a lot of salads, vegetables. They don't encourage fruit at all. They don't want you to have fruit. There's a couple of fruits that are okay, like blueberries, and I believe some of the berries are okay. Not strawberries. I think it was, strawberries might be okay, but I think it was more like boysenberry, raspberries, that kind of thing. And I only like blueberries. I don't like the other berries other than strawberries. So that's that. And it takes a couple of weeks to get in ketosis. And John and I got these strips from like Amazon where it'll tell you once you're in ketosis, and that's where you want to be, because that's what burns the fat. And so the first week or two, you are losing weight because you're losing a lot of water weight. I believe in the first week, I lost 5 pounds and he lost like 7 or 8. So that's the nice thing, but that's water weight. So you really want to start losing the real fat off of you. So it worked for a while. I don't see it for me long term because, like I said, we did like one cheat and then we're out of ketosis. Well, I don't like that. And yeah, a lot of people have lost weight on this diet. I worked with a girl who looked fantastic. She had lost like 50 pounds, but she told me for Christmas she had like a piece of candy and she was out of ketosis and it would take her 2 weeks to get back. And I thought, that's crazy. So of course, every diet has pros and cons. This diet's not going to work long term for me, although I do apply some of the principles because some of the principles of this diet work for bright lines, but they are two completely different diets. All right, let's talk about bright lines. Bright Line Eating, here's the book, you guys. Susan Pierce Thompson, PhD. She is a professor of brain and cognitive sciences at the University of Rochester, and she's the expert in the psychology of eating. So, and that talks about her on the back. This is the diet my sister and brother-in-law lost a ton of weight. It's a very interesting read. I actually read it on my Kindle, and then I bought the book on Amazon. And she tells you all about it. She talks about her history. She talks about how she came to develop this diet and how it's worked for all these people, you know, and she shows these little, you get the case studies before and after. So you get to see how it's worked for people. And then you get to read about their journey. And it's really, really interesting. I definitely recommend this to anybody. It's a good diet. I do like the diet. And then here is the cookbook. As you can see, I got my little flags here on the recipes I like. And then she's got more case studies in here. So yes, you can read about more case studies in the before and after. And it's very inspiring. Here's one of the recipes for pancakes. So yeah, it's great. I got on the diet last May, like I said. I'm a slow loser though. Like my sister said she lost 20 pounds in a month. Wow. I'm like a pound a week. Every blue moon, I'll be 2 pounds a week. But yeah, and they say that's the way I've heard that doctors have said that's the healthy way to lose weight and keep it off. You know, doing it slowly like that. So it's been tough for me because it's such a slow weight loss. And then I gain weight and I don't know why, but it's because it's water gain. And you know, she said you weigh yourself how you want. If I do a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever, it's however you want. Well, I like to do daily. Even if I'm gaining weight, I like to assess. And I like to see the little victories. Okay, so yeah, maybe I gained a weight, but next day I would have lost that another pound too. So I like that. But that's up to you guys, how you want to weigh yourself. All right, what the diet is it's 3 meals a day, no snacking. Yes, 3 meals. It's shocking, but it works. And you're not hungry. So the bright lines are no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day. So quantity, you weigh all your meals, and she tells you all the ounces you're supposed to weigh out everything for. And yeah, so that's it. So you're just doing the 3 meals a day, no sugar, no flour, and the quantity. So you're weighing it. And then she gives you the diet and the meal plan, what you're supposed to be eating each day. Like breakfast is a breakfast grain, which could be like yams or potatoes or cereal. She has a list, rice even. You want a protein, so that's like sausage. You're not allowed to have bacon, although I do eat bacon now because that's a keto thing. And that could be, a few things. It could actually be, your protein could be milk. It could be yogurt. It could be cottage cheese, which is odd. I never thought I would eat cottage cheese for breakfast, but it's actually very good. And then your grain could be cereal as well, but there's only certain cereals you can have because a lot of cereals have sugar and a lot of cereals have flour. You're not allowed either. So, I actually have a cereal right now that does have flour in it, but I'm just trying to get rid of it. So she gives you a list. I actually got it from my sister, the list of all the cereals I can have. And they are out there. You can buy them at the store. So that is it. So for like breakfast, I could make a big breakfast. I do this for John and I a lot. I'll do eggs, sausage, like either yams or potatoes, like hash browns, make them into hash browns, and fruit. And it does take a little bit of time to prepare. So could be anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending what you're doing. So I have that sometimes, and sometimes I have cottage cheese, fruit, and cereal, like a parfait, like all mixed up. It tastes delicious. Maybe it doesn't sound delicious, but it is. Or you could do yogurt with the cereal and the fruit. I usually just have 3 or 4 breakfasts. I just kind of, rotate those. And it all depends what I feel like eating. But this cookbook has a bunch of recipes for breakfast, and you could do yams, make them like pancakes. And that's my weakness. John and I go out to eat like every other weekend, and I get pancakes. That's my cheat. And I know you're not supposed to have a cheat, but I love pancakes. It's hard. I gave it up at first when I started the diet, but now it's like, I don't want to, and I'm having it for breakfast. So if I'm not having it for dinner, which most certainly would mean I'm going to gain weight. And I usually just maintain when I have that. So, but it's not very often. And most of the time I do stay on the diet. Yeah, the fact that there's no cheating at all is tough. But, lots of people have maintained this diet for a long time. And they're living, her little motto is happy, thin, and free. And that's what they're living. And yeah, I would love to be that. I'm happy and I'm free. I have a wonderful husband and a wonderful life, and I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm just not there yet, but I'm going to get there, and I'm not giving up. Maybe it'll just take me longer than other people. I'm still doing this diet. I love this diet. The other thing I was considering doing, and before I started Bright Lines eating, I was looking at doing the intermittent fasting because I've heard that could do very well. People do very well on that, where you can pretty much eat what you want, but you have to only eat a certain hours of the day. So I was looking into that too, and I haven't done that, and I still might try that out, but I've not abandoned Bright Lines yet because I really enjoy it. And I would recommend it to anybody, you guys. Just if you want to try out a diet. I mean, keto's been out for a while. Not a lot of people have heard of Bright Line eating. But you can look it up on Amazon and, decide for yourself what you want to do. And then there's other diets. There's the paleo diet. I have not looked at this yet. I got this at like a thrift store. I might look into that too, but I really like the Mediterranean. And then there's also paleo is like the caveman diet, kind of like you're going back to what the cavemen used to eat, before processed food was out there and they ate healthy. So you guys, this is just me presenting my diets to you, the ones I've tried, telling you a little bit about them. Maybe you want to look into them yourself, but I also wanted to talk about this because, again, I know people struggle with this. It's a struggle for a lot of people, but I would recommend you give up sugar and flour. I know it sounds impossible, and at first, the first week, I had a lot of cravings, but that goes away, and then you don't have the cravings, and this is very sustainable. The two things that were very hard for me to give up, like I said, was that pancake and Diet Coke. And I know it's horrible for you. That is like my only vice I have right now, because I'm not eating like I used to eat. I used to pig out. I don't anymore. So yeah, I was off it for a while and then I'm back on it, and I've got to get off it, but I will. But, and I've heard that that leads to weight gain. Not sure about that, but yeah, it's, you live your life how you want. I'm living my life how I want, but I am going to lose the weight. It's going to be my timetable, not anybody else's. So I hope this helped you guys, inspired you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know. Leave me a comment. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up. Share this content, subscribe. I would love that. I know I'm usually talking about reselling, and I'm going to be going back talking about that. But I thought, you know what? Life happens. And I thought I would just talk about something that's going on in my life. So I hope you guys having a great day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.